Bonjour à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Donc aujourd'hui, je me présente Raël Carter pour vous servir pour une émission un petit peu atypique dans le sens où c'est Miami Productions qui collabore à cette interview. Donc aujourd'hui, nous avons Union avec TALIB KWELI. Voilà.
Salut.
Vous allez bien?
Ça va?
Ça va? En fait, moi, la première question que je voulais vous poser par rapport à cette collaboration, parce que c'est une collaboration, c'est de savoir en fait comment ça s'est passé, comment le contact s'est noué entre vous.
I believe I had a show here. I think Idol Worship is a group that I have with Reese, and you guys came backstage and
You met OJ.
yeah, I met OJ backstage and played me the track, and it was good. And almost a year later, we're here.
Et pourquoi le choix de TALIB KWELI pour
C'est purement artistique, hein, tu vois. Talib, c'est à la base, tu vois, c'est vraiment un clin d'œil artistique. Et donc voilà, on s'était dit, vu qu'il était dans le coin, autant s'attaquer, tu vois, même si c'est une entité, tu vois, du hip-hop. On s'était dit, voilà, d'y aller au culot et puis de présenter nos tracks. Et en même temps de présenter le projet, tu vois, ce qui était apparemment bénéfique pour nous, puisqu'il appréciait. Et à partir de là, c'est là qu'on a fait la connexion, tu vois.
Donc ça annonce aussi un album avec pas mal d'invités, c'est ça, hein?
Exact, ouais.
D'accord. Qui s'appellera l'album
L'album, pour l'instant, il a un titre provisoire qui s'appelle Analogtronics,
Ouais.
qui fait aussi partie de notre nom parce qu'on s'appelle Union Analogtronics.
Ok.
Et donc jusque là, voilà. Donc pour l'instant, on a Mocha Only, on a Bita Sayan, Rachel Claudio, Elzai de Sun Village et Gitty Simpson, et ainsi que Talib.
Ok.
Voilà.
Donc toi, tu fais du clavier, c'est ça?
Dans Union, moi je fais des claviers et OJ se charge de tout ce qui est rythmique. Et puis on se voit et on compose ensemble les morceaux.
Talib, tes parents ont été professeurs. Je crois que ta mère était professeure de langue et ton père sociologue. Ça t'a jamais tenté en fait d'être aussi prof?
I think that my parents and my younger brother are in the education field, and that it was logical if I wasn't doing this, I would end up in that field. Before I was rapping for a career, I worked at a bookstore. So I think logic dictates that, but I don't know. I don't know if my spirit would have taken me there, but it seems like it. Everything we do is education. Like we are constantly students and teachers all throughout life, no matter what we do. Whether you are a journalist or producer or whatever, there's always people who look up to you that learn from you, and there's always people you learn from.
La prochaine question que je vais poser, c'était à quand un nouvel album de Black Star? Black Star, c'est toi, Talib KWELI et Mos Def, et je veux savoir justement si c'était toujours d'actualité et si vous travaillez justement dessus en ce moment.
The reason why we called it Mos Def and Talib KWELI is because it was always known that we were going to do separate things from the time we first started it. My focus now is on the Reflection Eternal project with High Tech. Me and Mos, we just put out a video from his last album, which is an excellent album, for a song History, which Jay Dilla produced, and Mos is on the Reflection Eternal album, a song with J. Cole and Jay Electronica called Just Begun. So we constantly work together, but there are no immediate plans for an album.
Tu passes régulièrement en France, je crois que c'est la 2e ou 3e fois que tu passes pour performer, pour faire des scènes. Et je veux savoir ce que tu pensais en fait du public français.
I've gotten to know the people of France, and ever since I come here, at the very least, my audience has shown me a lot of love. People who come to my shows. When I first came to Paris, like many big cities, like a London or New York, if you don't have any money, it's not a friendly city, So when I first came to Paris, my first time, as a struggling artist, it was very hard.
When was it?
98, maybe 99. Okay. It was hard to get around and speak to people.
Really?
Yeah, it was tough. I got into like a lot of arguments, almost got into a fight at a nightclub. Like, it was tough. I came on tour with, we did a show with Missy and Mary J. Blige. And I hung out with Missy that night. And the way she did Paris was totally different than how I was doing. So I really enjoyed it then. And then I learned where to go and how to enjoy it. But I think that that's probably like that for any big city.
Il y a un nouvel album qui va arriver de Reflection Eternal. Je crois que le nom s'appelle Revolutions Per Minute. À quel moment il est prévu en fait?
It comes out on April 20th. Revolutions Per Minute comes out April 20th. High Tech and I have a lot more resources and experience at our disposal for this album. The first album, it was about trying to show the world how dope we were. And this album is more about creating a good body of work and good songs. And you know, the first album, we were spending a lot of money going from studio to studio. This album, High Tech, has his own studio in Cincinnati, so I think this album is a little bit more organic.
Does Blacksmith permit this? Like you do what you want with Blacksmith?
Blacksmith,
You're
yeah.
free.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had creative control throughout my career. That's never been an issue for me. Like,
Yeah. You never be locked by a major.
Oh, no.
Never. Right.
no, anything you see me put out, or any song or album, has always been a complete creative decision on my part.
Okay. Yeah, that's strong. That's cool.
You know, I guess maybe I take that for granted. Maybe that's not what everybody goes through, you know. But I really couldn't see it any other way.
Tu es considéré en fait comme un rappeur conscient, et je veux savoir si il était important en fait justement de ramener cette conscience aujourd'hui en 2010.
I think it's important for anyone who has a degree of knowledge to share that knowledge and spread it. I think too often that is put on top of artists who may or may not have the knowledge, and you can't be mad at someone for not having knowledge and not spreading it. It's the job of the artist to be honest with their art and to entertain, but it's not a job requirement for an artist to be conscious. If an artist has knowledge, then it's just required of him as a human being to spread that knowledge, not necessarily as an artist. And I say that because there are great artists who are not conscious at all, but it doesn't make them any less great artists, you know?
Tu as sorti différents albums et malheureusement la qualité est là, mais ils ont pas forcément bien marché. Est-ce que quelque part, comment tu te sens par rapport au succès, le manque de succès qu'ont eu tes albums? Je crois que le dernier a mieux marché que les précédents, mais comment tu te positionnes par rapport à ça?
I'm very blessed to have the career that I have. It keeps me grounded. I make music that connects with people on a spiritual level and a cultural level. It would be nice for someone to say, oh, I like your hit record, but it's even nicer when someone talks about how your song really relates to what they're going through. And as my career slowly progresses, the industry is going down, but my career keeps going up. So it's not necessarily as bad as it might seem. It's more like a good thing.
Are you reaching to have a hit, or it's like very far away of your mind?
I reached to have a hit once we finish in the studio.
Okay.
Like once we finish recording the album, then it's my job as an entertainer to make sure that as many people hear it as possible. So I try, sometimes that stuff seeps in, but I try not to let that seep into when I'm in the studio. But when I finish and I put a barcode on it and it's for sale, then yeah, I want to do everything I can to make it a hit.
Yeah, okay. But when you're creating, you're not in the constant goal of having a big
Right.
hit, big radio hit.
But I have to separate those parts of the job.
Yeah.
Est-ce que tu peux nous dire quelques mots sur Jay Dilla, qui nous a quittés il y a un petit moment et qui manque un petit peu à la musique hip-hop?
Jay Dilla is one of the greatest inspirations musically to my generation. Like Jay Dilla and Slum Village and Ba10, who's a member of Slum Village, passed away too. The way they made music and the way they presented their music has a much greater influence than most people realize over artists like myself, Q-Tip, The Roots, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, Common, Mos Def. And that's just to name the people that most people associate with Dilla. There's a whole bunch of other artists who Dilla has had an influence on. And his life and his legacy is like a gift to us. And we should always treasure it and celebrate it. And I'm blessed to have been in his presence and to have worked with him on a few projects.
La dernière question que je voulais poser, c'est comment vont les États-Unis en fait sous l'ère du président Barack Obama aujourd'hui?
I think United States before Obama became president was in such a crisis that it's kind of an amazing feat that it didn't get worse. I think he's a great organizer and an incredible leader. And as an organizer and as a leader, I throw my support behind him. I don't know if he's such a good politician. You know, I think the conservatives and the Republicans in America are way better politicians because what they say is all bullshit, but they're able to elevate it to the platform to where it's listened to, which to me is good politics, you know? So I think he has to learn the bullshit game a little bit better if he's gonna be president.
Yeah, for us the end word is that we're very happy to have TALIB today. It's a great honor. We were listening to your track like a young child. Not so young, not so young.
Okay.
And yeah, we're very happy to have you here.
No, I appreciate the love, and I love working with artists who are ambitious and push forward. You have to manifest things into existence, and you guys have done that. You want to get this song done, and y'all made it happen. You know?
En tout cas, j'attends le titre avec impatience là, parce que j'ai entendu des bons sons et je pense que connaissant Talib, je pense qu'il va tuer ça. Donc j'attends ça avec impatience.
Bah, merci, hein, merci aussi à MAYAMI Productions qui nous permettent de collaborer aussi avec TALIB KWELI. Hein. Parce que sans ça voilà, hein, ça ne pourrait pas se faire malheureusement.
En tout cas, merci à vous.
Bah, merci à toi, Rina.
Merci à vous. Thank you.
Question.